Next concept I'd like to talk about is the 2-5-1. Let me start by playing a simple harmonic progression. I'm going to play a D minor to a G major back to a C major. And you can think of it as a 5-1 followed by another 5-1. This particular progression is called a 2-5-1, not because you have two 5-1s, but because the D minor also doubles as the second degree of the C major scale. And let me take you back. It uses the same reasoning that we use to explain why a 5-1 is called a 5-1. So here's my C major scale, and it has degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and so forth. You can see that the second degree is the D, the fifth degree is the G, and the first degree, the 1, is C. So I've played you a 2, D, 5, G, 1, C. So you can think of a 2-5-1 as made up of two 5-1s, but that's not the meaning, as I've just explained. And there's one point to pay attention to, and some people might be asking themselves now, how I knew to use a D minor and not a D major. Why didn't I play this? And the answer is that different scales have different 2-5-1s that fit them. For example, if I were to play on a minor scale, then my 2 would still be a D, and my 5 would still be a G, and my 1 would still be a C. But what form would my D obtain now? So I'd have it would be a diminished D. So that would be a 2-5-1 on a minor scale. By the way, I should point out that there are two popular minor scales. So you have, and each has its own 2-5-1. So the first was, and the second would be, which is probably the one used more often. Now, so that's how you know when or why to use a major or a minor chord. So what are 5-1s and 2-5-1s good for? So one use is to simply understand the harmony of existing songs. So if you look at Yesterday and you suddenly understand that McCartney was using 5-1s throughout the song, although it doesn't diminish the song's ingenuity and his skill as a songwriter, it still shows that even McCartney works within rules. So he used one of the oldest tricks in the book to get a particular harmonic effect. And once you start analyzing songs, you'll see this progression, the 5-1 and the 2-5-1, all over the place. Another use, which is equally important, is when you reharmonize a song. So reharmonization refers to taking a particular harmonic progression and changing it. You're usually adding chords between existing chords. And here's an example. Suppose you were writing this, you're writing a song, and it would go like, So that's of course a song that already exists. That's just the two of us. And you suppose you were at this stage and you were unhappy with this particular harmonic stillness between after you play the A minor. So it's F to E to A minor. And suppose you weren't pleased with the fact that you were holding down this A minor. And you wanted to spice up things. What you might do, and actually what in this particular instance the songwriter did, is he said, I have this A minor, and when I play the next part, I'm going to start with F again. So I need to get somehow to F, and I want to make it more interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a 2-5-1 that ends up at F. So my final destination will be an F major chord. So the 2-5-1 for the F major chord, that's the F major scale. That would be the 1. My 2 would be a G, and it would be a minor chord. And my 5 would be a C, which would be a major chord. So before playing my F, I play this 2-5 and end up with a 1. So it would sound like this. And I could do the same thing in the chorus. And you can see how much this adds harmonic interest to your song. So just by adding this 2-5-1 and not just playing the F, you could spice up your playing. So this is the idea of reharmonization.